Daylight hasn't even broken and these students are up and on their way to school. But it's not your typical commute. To get to class, these students have to cross an international border. For these 500 or so students from the tiny Mexican town of Palomas, the crossing is just part of their daily routine. They show their US passports and birth certificates, customs and immigration officials inspect their school bags, then they're bused to school in Luna County, New Mexico. Lizette Preciado is a senior at Deming High School in Luna County. A US citizen, she's lived in Palomas with her parents for 7 years.
Well, it's good to be able to go to school over there. Like, there's more opportunities to study and to have a better job in the future.
Lizette and her family moved to Palomas from Colorado after her mother, Rosa Marie, was deported for being in the country illegally.
Pues muy mal porque tenía mis 4 hijos.
I felt bad, really bad, because I have 4 children who are citizens of the United States, and my husband is a resident. I didn't want to go back to live in Mexico. I know it is my country, but life in Mexico is really hard.
Preciado and her husband Ramon make their living in Palomas raising goats. Ramon still crosses occasionally back into the US to work, but for someone like Preciado who's banned from entering the country, this is about as close as she can get to her old life in Colorado. Though deported, Preciado says having her children educated in the US was important to her, and that's why they settled in Palomas.
De hecho, yo llegué a Palomas por una amiga. Ella me dijo que Palomas.
I came to Palomas because of a friend who said Palomas would be a good option to live with my children. It is easy to cross into the United States, and there's a bus to take them to school.
Armando Chavez is the principal of Columbus Elementary in Luna County. Every year, his school welcomes students and families from all over the country: Tennessee, Utah, Illinois. Chavez says they usually see an influx of students when states enact strict immigration laws, as Arizona did in 2010.
We're sometimes the holding spot for them to fix the papers correctly. We're dealing with children that come from South Dakota, Missouri. I mean, it can be any state that come, but we embrace our children that come to our door every day.
School districts in Texas and California also allow students living in Mexico to come to school, but they often charge out-of-district fees or are private. For the students coming from Palomas, their education is free. Despite a 10-foot-high border fence that separates them, the ties between Luna County and the community of Palomas run deep. From businesses to culture to marriage, many teachers in the Luna County schools cross the border as students. Ricardo Gutierrez teaches 5th grade at Columbus Elementary, the school he attended as a child.
So now it's my turn to give back to the community.
Gutierrez says keeping parents engaged in their kids' education is the biggest challenge. He opens his restaurant in Palomas for parent-teacher conferences via Skype. And for this year's graduation ceremony, he hosted a watch party for the parents that couldn't cross. But not everybody living in the Luna County area thinks that state money should be used to educate students who don't live in the United States.
That forces the state of New Mexico to pay for their education, as well as those of us that are taxed in Luna County to pay for them too.
Luna County Republican Chair Russ Howell says allowances like the one being made by the school district motivate people to exploit birthright citizenship.
They're getting a free education because her mother decided to give birth in the United States rather than back in Mexico where they live.
The New Mexico state constitution requires public schools to be open to all the children of school age, regardless of residence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Principal Chavez says if there are concerns about students not paying their fair share, that is more reason to make sure they're getting a good education.
They're going to more than likely live in the United States. We want to educate them. We want to get them to the highest level of education possible so they can be successful and so they can become productive members and contribute back.
Es ingeniero.
Rosa Marie Preciado says her 3 oldest children are already making their contributions. Her oldest daughter serves in the US military, and her 2 sons have careers in engineering and manufacturing.
Estoy muy orgullosa porque yo sé que tengo mucha familia.
I am very proud because I have a lot of family and almost none of their children graduated from anything, not even high school. And I have 2 that graduated and they have careers. That has made me really proud and it has given me a lot of happiness.
But that success has taken Preciado's children far away from Palomas, and her youngest Lizette is soon to follow. She has plans of studying engineering at Colorado State. Preciado hopes an immigration pardon waiver she's eligible for in 2 years will allow the whole family to reunite in the US. But there are no guarantees. For the Fronteras Desk, I'm Simon Thompson.